Welcome to Friday Takeaway. Donald Trump's choice for Federal Reserve Governor is Jerome Powell. The odds-on favourite to win, Powell is said to be in favour of gradually raising interest rates and kicking off the long process of winding down the Fed's $4.5 trillion portfolio. Though, like his predecessor Janet Yellen, he might also resort to new rounds of asset purchases if another crisis happens. CME, the world's biggest exchange group, will launch a Bitcoin-based futures contract by the end of this year, which basically moves Bitcoin from the fringes of the financial world to its epicenter. As expected, Malaysia witnessed an ambitious and populist budget 2018. Federal expenditure is up 5.5%, while the fiscal deficit will drop to 2.8%. But analysts also said that achieving a 6.5% revenue growth target could be challenging. On to the FBM KLCI. As at 10 a.m, the index was up 0.1% to 1,742 points, barely changed from last Friday's closing. Year to date, the KLCI is up 6.1%. Next up, some big weekly movers. The budget proved a boost for MRCB. Now, MRCB are a government-controlled property, infrastructure and engineering firm that also counts the EPF as a major owner. Now, they could benefit in a big way from the government abolishing toll collection at the Eastern Disposal Link, or EDL, in Johor under Budget 2018. There are two possible scenarios for the company, which owns the 34-year concession. Now, A, they could be compensated for the loss in future toll revenues, or B, the government buys the EDL outright. Right now, all we have are news reports from Nikkei markets reporting that the government is saying that the MRCB will receive 70 million ringgit in annual compensation, but as yet, nothing official from the company. Now, overall, that's good because EDL currently bleeds about 90 million ringgit annually in mainly bank interest. That's roughly a third of total debt for MRCB. Today, their shares are down 4% to 1 ringgit and 1 cent, but still up 9% in the past month alone. Assuming EDL is sold as speculated, it will still have nearly 2 billion ringgit of debt. Plus, they also raised less money than expected from a rights issue in September, suggesting that belief in their prospects wasn't that strong. Now, Kenanga raised their FY 2018 estimated earnings forecast for MRCB by 49%, but the sum of parts derived target price was lowered to 1 ringgit and 14 cent from 123 because of the lower amount raised from their rights issue. Sino Hua-Ann International. Now, what they do is to produce metallurgical coke, which is used in smelting and steel manufacturing, and they're linked to the Negeri Sembilan royal family. Third quarter revenues ballooned to 269 million ringgit from zero a year earlier, while after-tax profits rebounded to 34 million ringgit from losses of 10.2 million ringgit a year ago, a period when their plants were leased out, therefore not earning any money from the facility. Now, their stock soared this week, gaining over 30% since Monday on massive volumes. Today, they are unchanged at 29 cents. Hua-An are still a small company at a tad over 300 million in market value, so no coverage from analysts. What more with a negative price-earnings ratio because of their losses last year? But they're on the up and currently trading near their 52-week high of 35 cents. Now, they've suffered massive losses the last 2 years, and their industry remains besieged by cheap Chinese imports and an uncertain outlook for both property and construction.